During this video, we will learn about safer handling techniques for pushing and pulling, and then compare and discuss some examples of both poor and safer handling techniques. Pushing and pull it tasks are not just limited to pallet trucks and trolleys. In fact, these include loads that you interact with just by pushing or pulling. If you remember back to the risk assessment video that you watched earlier, the four main areas of an assessment are the task, you as the individual, the load, and the environment. We should always think ahead, especially when we're using a pallet truck. Could you eliminate or minimize the manual handling task by using manual handling equipment? As long as you are trained on how to use this equipment, you should always make use of the available tools. Is your route clear? If it's outside of your capabilities, please ask for assistance. When performing a pushing and pulling task, please make sure the item that you are moving is in good condition and make sure you are pushing and pulling loads that are within the safe working load of that equipment. Particular attention should be given to the environment that we are pushing and pulling in. Are there any slopes, lips, or change in floor surface? Are there any people or obstacles en route? When applying safer handling techniques to pushing and pulling tasks, it's vital that we take the pressure away from our arms and our spine and utilise the power from our legs. Adopt a staggered stance with one foot in front of the other. This provides a strong, stable base from which we can push and pull from. Take a look around you to check the surroundings are clear. If we then lower through the knees, pushing off your feet, this will activate your powerful leg muscles and switch on your abdominal muscles, which will help protect your spine. A common ineffective technique is when people place both feet together and just lean back, trying to just utilise their body weight. This is both less powerful and less stable than utilising a staggered stance. By flexing the knees, we will again engage the larger leg muscles, taking the pressure off the spine. It will also activate the larger abdominal muscles. Keeping your spine in a neutral position will load the discs within the spine nice and evenly, and keeping a neutral neck position will give you a clear awareness of the load and of your surroundings. If turning when using a pallet truck, please stay on the outside of the turn. This will prevent you accidentally catching your heels with the front of the pallet truck. Always take care when handling a pallet truck. You could cause injury both to yourself and someone else. It is important to plan ahead and think about where you want to stop the pallet truck. Avoid travelling too fast, as we must anticipate when we want to stop. If it took a large amount of force to get the load in motion, the likelihood is it's going to take a large amount of force to stop this load moving. You should never pull a pallet truck like this. If you are suddenly having to stop the load, then the handle will be forced into your lower back and could result in an injury. The next section of the training will be showing individual tasks performed in two separate ways. If we push and pull just using one arm, this may place unnecessary pressure through the shoulder joint. Using both hands may give you more control when moving the item. Here is another example of overreaching with one hand. The employee is demonstrating less safe practice by overstretching to reach the tote. It would be far better to move around to directly face the tote and pull using both hands. Again, the employee is demonstrating poor technique by leaning over and overstretching in order to push the load onto the conveyor. Now, they are demonstrating good technique by moving closer to the load and using 2 hands to push this. Now, let's briefly recap some of the points in our safer pushing and pulling video. We've established that you should perform a quick dynamic manual handling risk assessment before undertaking a pushing or pulling task. Are you physically able to move this? And are you wearing the correct PPE? Take some time to consider the load that you are moving. Is it stable? Is it safe to move? Is the manual handling equipment you're going to use in good working order? And have you had enough training to use it? Consider the environment in which you are working. Is the route clear, and are you aware of any obstacles that you could face en route? When looking at the posture, adopt a good staggered stance in order for you to dip through the legs, to use the powerful leg muscles to initiate a strong push or pull maneuver. By observing the safer handling approach to pushing and pulling techniques, you are going to help make the workplace safer for yourself and everyone else at RS Components. Thank you for watching this video.